Hello friends, welcome to Java2D tutorial. Now you are watching final part of the sub-series, drawing a curve using QuadCurve2D. So in the first part we learned about the basics of quadratic curve. Then in the previous video we drawn the points required for the line, and then we decided the control point location, and on each point we drawn a crosshair. So all these points are decided during the mouse click event. For the very first mouse click we decide point 1, and we will show that to the user with a crosshair, then point 2, after that control point. So point 1 and point 2 was shown in gray color, then we shown the control point in red color. So all this was done in the previous video by handling the mouse clicked as well as the paint method override. Now we will continue with the quadratic curve drawing. So now what we want to do, we want to move the control point using the mouse drag. That means we can decide first point, second point, as well as third point, control point, and then we can drag the mouse by holding down the left key. So this will move the control point from the initial location. So we have to handle the mouse dragged event. We will use a window builder to handle the mouse motion adapter. We use the window builder to handle the mouse dragged event, and the window builder IDE, the plugin, will create the mouse motion adapter. So once the skeleton is provided, we use point 1 and point 2. First we check point 1 is not null and point 2 is not null. That means when you are dragging mouse, we are checking that already point 1 and point 2 is available. Now you are dragging the mouse after deciding the control point. Alright, so inside this conditional check we are getting the graphics. So here if you see drawing panel, that's our panel. This get graphics. Why? Because drawing panel dot this denotes the outer class. Here we are already inside the mouse motion adapter. That's why here we are explicitly using the outer class drawing panel dot this. So if you blindly use this, that will represent the mouse motion adapter class, that will represent the inner class. So to represent the outer class we are using drawing panel dot this. So this will tell that we are getting the panel graphics, panel.get graphics, and we are converting that to the graphics 2D, and we are storing that in a reference called G2. After that, here we are setting color as dark gray. Why? Because we want to draw a rubber banding of the curve. Rubber banding means the curve will follow the location of your control point. So when you drag the mouse, say for example this is the control point, if you drag to location from F to 2, there may be multiple drag events that get produced in between, and we want to draw the curve at current control point location. So this will give the visual appearance to the user when they are dragging, or when they are dragging the mouse. The curve will follow the control point location, so they can visually see how the curve will look when they move the control point. Alright, here quadratic curve we are setting it as null. So draw curve at present cursor location. Here we are setting the control point location during each mouse move. So during each mouse move we get the location of X and location of Y, and we set that as a control point. After that, if you see curve is nothing but quadratic curve. We are making call to the set curve method. So this set curve method requires 3 points. So this is point 1 for the line. This is also point 2 point for the line, and this one is the control point. After that we draw the curve. So here if you see, we are doing this drawing when we are moving when we are dragging the mouse cursor. So if we continuously draw, then you will be seeing multiple curves that is drawn every time you drag your mouse, or every time an event is produced for the drag, there will be multiple curves that will get drawn. So we need to erase the previously drawn curve. That's why here we are checking if control point 1 is not equal to null. So that means there is a control point which was defined as part of the previous mouse drag event. So on each mouse drag we are setting the curve, right? So in that case we set XR mode and get the background of the panel. So this XR mode will invert the curve from previous location. So here if you see, we are creating a QuadCurve2D. We are setting the curve here. Initially it was null here, and here we are setting the, we are creating the curve. Then using the set curve method we are drawing the curve. So this will invert the previously drawn curve, or it will invert the curve which was drawn as part of previous mouse drag event, and then after coming out of this it will draw the curve at a new location. To explain it clearly, let's say point 1, this was registered using the mouse click 1, then point 2 defined during the mouse click 2, then third time we can click control point. So let us say this is the control point location CP1, and let's assume that you are moving mouse in this direction. Let's say this is the direction you are moving the mouse, and you are finishing the drag at this location CP1. CP11, CP1N at multiple event. So the drag is happening here. That means you are holding down your left mouse button, then you are dragging the mouse in this direction. In between it will produce multiple drag event. In between it will produce multiple drag event. So here if you see pictorially, we have shown you 1, 2, 3, 4 time the drag event is called between these 2 points. When you are moving from CP1 to CP1N. So since the drag is called 4 times, this routine will get called 4 times. Very first time, let's say a curve is drawn like this. Second time, when control point is moved to a different location, it will be drawn like this. Likewise, the drag event produce drawing the curve at a different mouse drag location. So what we have to do, we don't want to see all 4 curve. We don't want to see all 4 curves. So what we want to do, we want to erase the previously drawn curve. So this is the previously drawn one, right? So by setting the XR mode and by setting the background color, we will draw the curve once again. So when we come here and when control point is not null, that means the control point was registered using the previous drag, and this is the curve drawn using that previous location. So by setting the XR mode, we will be drawing exactly on top of the previously drawn curve with the background color. That means it's kind of erasing the previously drawn curve and drawing the new one with the new control point location. Similarly, when you move at each mouse drag event, you will be erasing the previously drawn one and drawing the new one. So that's how the previously drawn one will get erased using the set XR mode. And then here we will be drawing the new curve. So that way, when you move, you will be seeing that the curve will follow your cursor location and it will show the curve rubber banding. Alright, now we will go ahead and draw this curve. Alright, we need modification in the paint method as well. So in the paint method, we already have code to draw control point 1 and point 1, point 2. So this we saw previously in the previous video, I mean. So when user clicks the mouse button, they will see crosshair. The fixed point will appear in gray color and the control point will appear in a red color. So after that, we need to draw our final curve. So here we use the set color and we set the color as black. Then we create a quadratic curve, set curve. Parameter record for set curve is 0.1 and 0.2. This denotes the fixed point representing the line. This is the control point which defines the curvature between these 2 points. Finally, using G2D, graphics 2D object, we make a call to draw function overload, and this overload takes a shape. The shape what we are giving here is a QuadCurve2D instance. Right. After setting the curve for QuadCurve2D, we give it to the draw method of graphics2D. Graphics2D will take care of drawing the quadratic curve. Alright, now we will go to the demo. So here I am launching the workspace Java2D. So we need to handle mouse dragged event on the panel. So I'm moving to the panel class. So here if you see, we already captured the mouse click event, and in mouse click event we take care of registering point 1, point 2 as well as control point. Then we are making call to the repaint, and in the repaint we take care of drawing the crosshair for point 1, point 2 as well as control point. Now we will go ahead and continue to implement the mouse drag. For that I am switching to design pan. So we already set up the window builder plugin. Now here I am selecting the panel, then clicking on the events. Mouse motion, then mouse dragged. So to handle this event, I am double clicking on this area. So here we have mouse dragged. So the code was already explained in the PowerPoint slide. QuadCurve2D is from Java2D geometry package. G0 to drawing panel. So here we are setting the XR mode to erase the previously drawn line as part of the mouse drag, and here we are setting the new location based on the current mouse cursor location. Now in the paint event handler, so we are already marking point 1, point 2. And control point. So here we will be finalizing our quad curve. So as part of the rubber banding itself, we used the quad curve API. We create quad curve, then after that we set the curve with point 1, point 2 as well as control point. After that we perform draw. The same stuff we are doing here in the paint method. So this will finalize the drawing. Now let's run this. So first point was decided. Now I am moving and clicking the second point, then clicking here the third point. So this will be our control point, and when I move, you can see how the curve is drawn. So when control point is towards the bottom of the line, the curve is produced in the bottom direction. And if I move the control point, you can see how curve is generated. So now curve is appearing in the upward direction between the two fixed points. I can move the curve left and right as well. You can see that here. Now the curve is generated like this. And you can see it here, how the control point generates the curve. You see, this is how the curve is generated. Now we can do that in the negative direction also, right? So that's all the quad curve. Point 1 and point 2 are fixed, and this control point decides how the curve can be drawn, right? That's all about the quad curve. Just now you saw the demo. Thank you for watching. Bye.